Your people speaking of the Empire sound like a distorted echo. When I was born, we thought the rest of the galaxy to be mystery and legend. We had been alone for 1,000 years.
What was it like? I can't even imagine.
We were what you made us. In my youth, Jedi were how you threatened errant children. Obey your masters or the Jedi will obliterate you. For thousands of years, we had total control of 100 star systems. Then the Jedi drove us to the farthest fringe of the galaxy.
That was generations ago. Do people really still care?
Did your people still care to fear us when we re-emerged? This is hardly worth debating. I gain nothing from understanding how your Republic's fools view the galaxy. I am surprised that once your council finishes its brainwashing, any Jedi has a spine left to oppose the Emperor. Perhaps you are young enough to still cultivate the strength of the Sith.
Revan the Exile and I were all Jedi trained, and we all resisted the Emperor. What Sith have done so?
That was a surprise. In 3 centuries, I expected to see one test his strength against the Dark Lord. But those strong enough to challenge him are killed young, or co-opted into the Dark Council. Perhaps you are right. Jedi strengths are different, not necessarily lesser. The Emperor is dead at your hand, Jedi. Yet you do not follow up on your victory. Any Sith would have seized the throne by now. Even Revan and the Jedi Exile would have been hard-pressed to resist so tempting a target.
You think I could take the Emperor's place?
Perhaps I should not have sown such thoughts. They will be difficult to weed out now, no? Even for the scion of the Jedi? You remind me of Revan. He always had more darkness in him than the Jedi Exile. I like them. I would have served them, but my vision told me they would fail. I cut down the Exile and brought Revan to the Emperor as a gift.
You regret betraying them. There is room in the Force to forgive even such heinous crimes.
I do not seek forgiveness. The only way to live long enough to find the Jedi who would kill the Emperor, to find you, was to convince him to trust me. He took my offering and gave me a place at his side. He gave me immortality. It was a gift, but not without its price. It has been enlightening to spend so much time among you and your Jedi. For 300 years I have spoken to no one but Sith, and they do not change. They are the same on Korriban now as in my childhood. The same tricks, the same fights, the same groveling and mind control.
Was that almost a compliment?
I am only surprised that I have learned the most of the Force from a Jedi. Revan taught me to be effective when I became the Emperor's wrath. And now I have learned as much from you.
You have opened my eyes as well.
And here I thought you weren't listening. The Emperor was the only constant in my 300 years of life. It is hard to grasp his death. When I was born, the Emperor was the Empire. Everything existed to feed his whims. He was so far above us, no one, Sith or slave, would have dared even form an opinion about him.
I'd say joining Revan to kill him counts as an opinion.
When I began serving him, I thought it was far simpler than that. The Emperor was just a man, isolated by unimaginable power and the inability to trust the scheming sycophants who served him. I was wrong. He was a plague. But I am the only one in the galaxy who understands the full service you did us by destroying him.
You're welcome. Now why are we still talking?
Because I am caught between him and what I once was. The immortality he gave me, it has a terrible price. Taste, smell, touch, color, emotion. I have felt none of these for 300 years. I do not wish to become as the Emperor and lose all tie to what once made me a man. I now understand why your council tries to control your pleasure as well as your anger. Pleasure is a far more powerful motivator.
What makes pleasure more dangerous than other emotions?
Pleasure is the foundation of all desires. There is nothing that inspires so much anger as thwarted longing. I still remember the feel of sunlight on my skin, the scent of favorite foods, the color of my first love's eyes. To experience those simple pleasures again would be worth anything.
See, you haven't lost your humanity after all.
Do not mock me. I understand why your council controls you. What I'll never comprehend is why you let them. You have surprised me, Jedi. You have the heart of a Sith. Had you been born on Korriban, you would be sitting on the Dark Council now. It is too late to turn you fully from the light. But should your children have a connection to the Force, I will see them properly trained.
A Sith Lord of my blood. It's an intriguing thought.
He would have power such as the galaxy has never seen. It would be my greatest honor to train him. You're wise to keep such close tabs on me.